Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Bashir, CEO, co-founder Delali, and of course, the other gentleman that joined the conversation in Estonia. Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I invite the last presenter, this is a very important message from the organizers. Those who have indicated interest for the industry tour tomorrow, and then your application has been approved via the email sent to you. If you are going to Lafarge Factory, Eweko Road, tomorrow, you have to be here by 7:30 a.m. on the dot. Those who have sent in application for industry tour tomorrow, you have to be here for 7:30 a.m. if you are going to Lafarge at Eweko Road. But those who are going for industry tour at 7 up, that will happen after tomorrow's session. So that is the message from the organizers. Now we take the last presentation for today before we go for lunch break. And then after lunch break, we also break for the day. But let me invite for a plenary session on circular diplomacy for a limitless collaboration, regional collaboration for action, looping circular trade into African continental free trade area. Permit me to invite Dr. Adams Adebayo, Lagos State Chairman, Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, NASME. Please put your hands together for him.
Good evening, participants. My name is Adams Adebayo. I'm privileged to be the leader and chairman of the National Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, Lagos State chapter. I'm equally a member of the State Technical Committee on AFTA. And I would like to talk on the theme, as been stated before me, on the circular diplomacy for a limitless collaboration, the regional collaboration for action, looping circular trade onto AFTA. And we need to first of all understand that we are in a global village, and it is not enough for everyone to be dancing in the dark. You will be the only one that knows your dancing step. You need to be exposed. Whatever is your profession, you need to let other people know how good it is. Africa has been blessed by so many raw materials, resources, human capital, and so forth and forth. But we need to understand that the hub and the main engine room for every development is the micro, small, and medium enterprises. If you are talking of the micro, small, and medium enterprises, we start from people, the nano, the woman roasting plantain, yam by the roadside, bean cake, the shoe cobbler, the hairdresser, and so on and so forth. Just think within your means. Who are those people that we don't really recognize, that we just believe that they are doing their daily activities? But if you look at it critically, they are the driver of the economy. I want some of you, in those days, by the time you come to Lagos Island, by 5 a.m., you see people coming from all over the Africa, from Togo, Benin, Ghana, Africa Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone. You see the vehicle being moved across every day like that. And I just want to tell you, because we are being blessed with a particular thing that is called population. Some people might be taking and looking at it. What are you talking about? The population is a blessing to us. Why is the population a blessing to us in Africa, especially in Nigeria, the most populous black nation? We need to understand that everyone that we are seeing, they need something. And that is why everybody's activities is very important. The African Continental Free Trade Area is a free trade area encompassing amounts of Africa. It was established in 2018 by the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which has 43 parties and another 11 signatories, making it the largest free trade area by numbers of state participants after the World Trade Organization, and is the largest in the population and geographical size, spanning 1.3 billion people across the world, second largest continent. If you are looking at it, that our population of 200 million is a plus. If care is not taken, we just discovered that that population will only be used for numbers, which is going to be to our own disadvantage, and that is why the Lagos Circular Economy Hotspot is important to us at this time. For us to look at it, that the number of the activities that has been carried out in Lagos alone, I just mentioned the Lagos Airline Idumota to you. Look at what is happening in the computer village. Apart from in the whole of Africa, the computer village is the largest technology center or city that you can find. Whatever that you need that has to do with technology, within that region, you see the activities that are being carried out. And if care is not taken, we just find out that people will be taking advantage of us, and Nigerians will not have much benefit. Well, we have to look into most of what we are doing in Africa, and in Nigeria, and in Lagos. It's about, let's see the importance and the benefits that's going to be accrued to the small business that we are talking about. In 2021, the National Survey on Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, MSMEs, by the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, SMEDA, in collaboration with the National Bureau of Statistics, stressed the importance of the micro, small and medium enterprises as subsector to sustainable growth of the national economy. When you now look at what has been the contribution so far, the micro and small medium enterprises have been playing a vital role in assuring stability and growth in the economy from the inception of the last administration in 2015 to 2022, as reviewed through the last national survey of the MSMEs, indicated that the subsector contributed 49.78% of the national gross domestic product, while it also accounted for over 76% of total employment and contributing 7.64% to total export. That is where I'm going. What is our problem? Why do we contribute 7.64% to total export? We need to look into what we are doing and let it be more. The issue we are having as a small business generally, you are going to be the head of the local government in that area. As a small business, definitely you have to make sure that you have your road. As a small business, you have to make sure that you fix the water. As a small business, you have to make sure that you fix the energy. When they are talking about renewable energy, there's nothing we can do until when that energy is being resolved. One young man told me a few years ago, immediately after the issue of the regulation of the diesel, he changed his generator to petrol. And he said, okay, since it's like this, I have a small generator that is using fuel, petrol, that is able to carry between 2 kg to maximum of 8.5 kg. Oh, correct. So with that one, he now divided all his machinery and equipment to be able to be below 8.5. As of today, he called me again. He said, I don't even know what to do again. The fuel is already high. What do? I said, change to gas. If you change to gas, we are going to see another thing. Honestly speaking, when people were asking that as a small business, you have to be very smart and look at what you can do. You need to be changing and you need to get it right. So when you now look at the contribution of the small business, definitely you see that the small business is very important. And what are the benefits of the AFTA, as you have said? Now, it is known that the African MSME can benefit from the AFTA from greater access to the new market and possible economic transformation that competitions in this market could promote and are regarded as the key trigger for the after. What are we saying? We want to liberalize our border so that there won't be much bureaucracy. If you are moving, if you look at it, moving from here to Benin Republic, from Benin Republic to Togo, from Togo to Ghana, to Africa Coast, to Liberia, Sierra Leone, as we are going forth, there must be a free trade agreement and arrangement within us. And if you look at the rate, in fact, from Benin Seme border to Badagry, you will count about 27 roadblocks. The only way that could make that area to be safe is when we have this after. So you just have only 2 or 3, and you just find out that there will be ease movement of products. So when you're now looking at it, Lagos is very important and key to every activities when it comes to that. And everyone that is engaging in small and medium enterprises, they need to understand, if they don't participate in this dispensation, other people will be bringing their own goods to Lagos, especially where the border is, and to Nigeria as a whole. But what do we need to do? I made mention of it, that the problem that we are having has gone from ordinary problem of solving the infrastructure alone. We are having a problem of production. What do I mean by production? No matter how the small business is trying to do whatever they are doing, they need to improve. Yesterday, I was with the DG of FIRO, where we are discussing. And they had over 200 technology to be transferred. One of our members had our own technology from FIRO on the production of palm wine in Oshodi there. So I'm talking to you now, the palm wine is available in most parts of the European country. But why they don't even know? It was just written, made in Nigeria. And when I was discussing with the DG yesterday, Dr. Jumai Adamu Tutua, the Director General of Federal Industrial Research Oshodi, I explained to her, Madam, you have given the small business a lot of technology transfer. What we need to do is to promote this your institution the more, and which is part of what I'm doing. And I said, how do we do that? I said, let there be an endorsement on every product that we are doing that is being supported by FIRO. And the same way that we have the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund in funding most of our small business in Lagos. And I keep on telling the secretary, I said, what we can do is that let there be an endorsement so that when we are seeing it, it's a good thing to have made in Nigeria, but let it be made in Lagos, Nigeria. Then people will now look at it that, okay, made in Lagos, Nigeria. Like I told them when I was in Aba, I said, you people are making a lot of mistake. You are doing one of the best suits and shirts, but you are still putting there made in China, made in other country. It's not right. Put it there made in Aba, Nigeria. It's just a matter of time. People will still buy into it because the quality of a good thing will speak for itself and people will understand. Most of the problem that we are having is that they will not look at it that because they have written one BY or any of that brand that they have written there. They don't know that these are made from Africa. We need to make it, to promote it and let people understand that all these things that we are doing is made from so area. So like that palm wine, if it's written there, made in Lagos, Nigeria, people will equally know that it is from Lagos. So like I discussed with DG yesterday, she agreed with me and said, as from now on, they are going to get back to us. So all what we need to do, all the small business need to come together as a cluster to now produce without your labeling anything. Let the people that will market it, let them label it. And by the time you have about 15 million pieces, look at the bags, school bag they are producing, fantastic school bags. By the time they are now labeled, we have about maybe 600,000 or 1 million pieces. And it's written there, made in Lagos, Nigeria. Everybody will look, and it goes throughout the whole of the Africa and beyond. These are what we need to promote ourselves for all these goods to move out of our country to different countries of the world, and they will see the reasons. But most of the problem that we are facing is that everybody wants to be their damaging director. Let it be my name, let me be that I produce it. No. What you need is the money. As long as leave the product of marketing for other people to market, that is where we can get more. And part of the benefit, expanded market access. The expanded market access is often a face-off and a challenge to us in accessing international market due to trade barriers and administrative bottleneck and hurdles that we are facing. But after aim to simplify trade procedure, reduce tariff, eliminate non-tariff barrier, allow MSMEs easier access to new markets across Africa. This will increase the market access to lead to expansion of the customer base and potential. Another one is diversification. Supply chain for MSMEs engage in manufacturing or sourcing input in the elimination of tariffs and trade barriers can lead to more competitive source options with the continent, and the diversification of supply and chain can be helps MSME access raw materials and intermediate goods. All what we are saying is that let there be a policy to protect the small business around you, especially in Lagos State. When there is a policy to protect the small business in Lagos, what do we see? You will see the manufacturer, the big manufacturer, they will be the one to be buying, to be going to the interland, going to be buying. Maybe you are producing cashew. Leave the other one in the supply chain. Let the small business participate in it. Don't let your procurement officer be the one going into the farmland to get all these things. There must be a way and a protection from them. So everybody will be involved and there will be protection and there will be enough for people to get into. The small business need to be the source that can supply you with your raw materials. You are not the one to do that for yourself. That is the way it's been done almost every part of the world. Another one, increase investment opportunity. The after fosters economic growth, development is likely to attract more foreign and domestic investment. MSME can benefit from the increased investment in their sectors, which can lead to the technology transfer. Just like what I told you about what Firo is doing. They had over 200 products. You can try to visit there, the Federal the Federal Industrial Institute at Oshodi. You will see what they have done. Fantastic goods. Even though you are about to retire, you can just walk in. What can I do? And I keep on telling people, one day you just catch up with you. Before you know, it is either 35 years in service or age 60. Once you catch up with you, you don't have a choice. So you need to prepare yourself. 3 years, 4 years, what can I do? Everybody cannot be a farmer. You will see what you are going to add to whatever you are doing to make that thing to work for you. You need to understand. And that is the way that you can get it out. Networking and collaboration. It is a key and important. The AFTA can provide a platform for MSM to network and collaborate with business from other African countries. Such interaction can lead to knowledge exchange, sharing of best practice, and potential partnership that can enhance the capability of MSME. It is a key and you need to understand. Another one is job creation. A lot of people don't understand. If you have 10,000 small business that is being financed, and each of that 10,000 decided to employ just only 5 staff. With that 5 staff and multiply by the 10,000, you can now see the number of people that's going to be taken out of the labor market. So what are we saying? So they are going to create the job seamlessly. And you see the young people coming up. And these are some of the things that they need to understand and have it for the MSME to be partner in getting the production improved. Because if it's not improved, it's going to be a problem. Another one is improved access to finance. A more integrated and dynamic African market can attract financial institutions, making it easier for MSME to access credit and financial service, thus supporting the growth and expansion. When you have it, the small businesses coming together and making a lot of production, then we can now move it out in form of an export to the African countries, all over Africa without making any payment on the tariff. Then it makes our goods to be cheaper. Because when the cost is higher, you are going to have some fundamental issue with pricing. And that is why most of the imported goods are even cheaper. Somebody was asking me last year that, Prof, what is happening the local rice is more expensive even than the imported. What I told the guy was that the local rice, the production cost is even more than what we are expected. When the production cost of something is higher, there's no way you can sell below the cost price. And it's a function of demand and supply. The forces of market will take it. And that is why if you go to everywhere you want to take ofada rice, they will tell you ofada rice is not meant for the poor. But in those days, ofada rice is supposed to be for the poorer of the poorest. But today, look at what has happened. Number one, because people don't want to eat ofada rice in those days because of the stone. Technology have now made it possible for us to destone it and make it very, very okay. Now that it's okay, it is no longer the rich of the poor. The poor will say, why don't you even leave it with the stone? So that it will remain our rice. After all, we are taking it. But now that they are taking away the stone, look at what happened now. We cannot buy ofada rice again. Yes, we need to look into some of it. It is not a function of the stone alone that we are talking about. We are even talking about the inputs. If you look at the seedling has not been improved. And that is why the yield keep on reducing. But where they have improved seedling and other things that follows with low level of production and cost, then we can all be producing more and more. Especially, look at the people that are in diaspora. They are the one that is demanding for this, our local rice. And as long as we cannot afford, they keep on taking it outside the country. And the local people suffer. We need to look into it holistically and see how we can minimize it. It's good for us to collaborate. It's good for us to go outside and see what we can do with the outside economy. But the most importantly, we must not suffer. We are the one producing it. We won't die because we want to export. But notwithstanding, we must produce more and more for us to have more than what we are aiming at. If you have a lot of production, then you can equally go out and export the remaining one. And in conclusion, however, it is essential to note that the actual benefit for the micro, small, and medium enterprises will depend on various factors, including the implementation of the agreement. That is sacrosanct. The level of commitment from the participating country, it is equally good and okay. And the capacity of the micro, small, and medium enterprises to adapt and take advantage of new opportunity that is available. On this note, I would like to close, and I want to say thank you for listening. And I would like to tell you, fission is the source and hope of life. The greatest gift ever given to mankind is not the gift of sight, but the sight of fission. Sight is a function of the eyes, while the fission is a function of the heart. Even though you don't have sight, you can still get to where you are going. Thank you, and God bless you.
Today, every other person has owed me 5-10 minutes, but Mr. Adams, I'm owing you 5 minutes, sir. I hope I can pay for it. Thank you so much for finishing ahead of time. Thank you so much. Please, let's put our hands together for Mr. Adams. Photographer, where are you? It's been a very beautiful day. We started with so much expectation, and I believe our expectations have been surpassed one way or the other. We've had various speakers come up here and tell us about a circular economy. For those of us like me that don't know much about this topic, I think our mind has been enriched. We know better. We can say much about this today, and I think we have all benefited from this. From here, we are supposed to go for lunch, and after lunch, the PS will decide what all of us will do after lunch. But we are not going to say it here. But before we go for lunch, I would like to invite a member of the Lagos State Circular Economy Technical Working Group, Mrs. Adeton Popola, to come and give the closing remark and as well as do a little wrap-up of what we have all gained here today. Please put your hands together for the General Manager, Lagos State Parks and Gardens.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say on behalf of the Technical Working Committee, thank you very much for attending today's session. It's been very interesting. I, in particular, have learned a lot. Financial planning for MSMEs, renewable energy, transition to circular economy. And I believe that we've had very insightful and interesting conversations today. And so on behalf of the committee, I say thank you for coming and thank you for staying till this time. Tomorrow we go again. For the people that will be attending the tours, please be here at 7:30 a.m. so that you don't miss the bus to Lafarge as well as 7-Up. Thank you to all the panelists and the speakers who have been here today. And I wish us all safe journeys as we return to our respective locations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeton Kokola. Please don't forget to take your lunch. It is very, very important. It's part of the circular economy. Go and take your lunch, and afterwards, you can ask the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Environment, what he should do next, whether to go home or to stay here or to do whatever. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.